Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. Matt from Built Cruisers. You join me in the rain. This is going to be probably the last mod we do at this house because we do have a new house coming / shed, which is probably what you guys are more interested in. But basically guys, this is an alternator install. You may remember we did this about 3 months ago and that one died and I got a refund for it. Great to do with the company that sorted that out. But basically we're here with a better brand alternator. It's still 80 amp unfortunately because we couldn't get 110 amp like I wanted. But it's Denso style. If you know anything about 60 series alternators, they're one of the best brands to go with. It looks the exact same. All right guys, it's super exciting. Hopefully this is one of the last big sort of major mods we'll have to do at this place because we did actually manage to get a house that's got a few sheds on it, which I'm super excited about. So we'll be able to sort out this mess. So if you do see some mess in the background, we won't be here by this time the video is out. It's because we're basically moving house. But what is good though, with this place at least, is I've got a full, basically 3-bay carport right here for myself. And I've got my lights here and everything. Got a big bay light over there and we just make it work, which is awesome. So basically it is raining right now, but we're gonna get this done because if you guys have a 60 series and you had your alternator go flat, you'll know what it's like. But all the lights from the dash are going off and basically I've got no power. My DC is disconnected. So my fridge and stuff can only run so long because it's off the solar, and yeah, it's just a whole can of worms. So basically we're gonna get the alternator in. So what we've gone with, the Gen X alternator. Now, most of them come with a little chart, sort of like a little, how they went in the factory before they came to you sort of thing, to make sure they'll work and run. And then in here, it's pretty straightforward, just one item in the box, the Juicy alternator here. So things to note, you can get internal or external regulators. Internal's better, they're also more expensive, but this one here is an internal one to my understanding. And then this here as well, the plugs are different. So this we've got a little like sort of, see it's like a square 3-pin connector. A lot of the other 60 series alternators have circle. In my old Bosch one I actually had a circle one, and when I put this one in I had to change the plugs over. So something to keep in mind for guys. But besides that, everything else is very similar. So basically guys, we're gonna try and get this other one out, which is just, you know, it's only been in there for literally 3-4 months at most. And then we'll try and put this one in. It is a bit of a shame, but I am definitely stoked that they managed to give me a full refund for sort of like a faulty alternator, I guess. But also I probably did arc it out a few times, that's for sure. Alrighty guys, we've got the bay light here. We've got the tripod set up, we're in it now. So that's my AC compressor guys, and you may be able to just see here I'm touching is the alternator. So hoping not to take these belts off. By loosening this off, pulling it in, and that belt should just undo and take on and off without having to move anything else out of the way. The first thing we're going to do is disconnect the battery. Alrighty guys, update. So basically where we're at now is everything's off, which is pretty exciting. So that actually wasn't too bad. And you can see here, a lot of these have like washers and stuff, but it doesn't matter too much because the new alternator comes with brand new ones, so you end up using them. So if you do drop some of these down the bottom, not the end of the world, but I'll try and show as best I can with the little camera here. But basically this little one comes off the back here, and then this one here, which has the little sort of ring looking thing, that goes onto here with this long bolt there, that one covered in oil. And here we've got a big one which goes at the top there with that bolt was on that one. And then you've got your little sort of little cable here on the top right. And then you can see here now the only thing holding the bottom is the big bolt that goes through the bottom. I've already taken the washer off, so this does actually move back and forth. And you can see here this bolt as well has been undone, and then there's one inside there, but this you can see I can move the whole thing. So what we're going to do now, one hand, take off this belt, which would be pretty handy because then we don't have to take off this AC belt, which you can see I'm fighting here, which which is great. So I haven't had to mess with the AC adjustment at all. And now I'm just going to slide that big bolt out and pull the whole thing out. Alrighty guys, so you know I had to put them side by side and do a comparison. Now, to the untrained eye, they might look very similar. But there are multiple differences here, guys, okay? Not that it really matters, but they are different if you're curious. Little things off the bat, if I put it on the same angle there so you can sort of see it. Different opening gaps along here. Top of the plate is quite different as well. And here we've got some markings. Cable on this one is noticeably better. It's actually got like a threaded cable sleeve. It's got a metal hook here. It's even got like a waterproofing section on the back of the plug. This one also has waterproofing, not as good, shorter plug, not as nice sort of thing. If you come here to the back as well, you can see everything lines up. We're going to be in the good spot. I'm not going to use this silver bit because I've got one in the car that's better. You can see bolts line up in the same spots. Yeah, you can even see here, it's a tiny little thread here. This one doesn't have it. Don't need it. Not sure what that's for, to be honest. But they're basically going to do the same thing, guys. But one of them is dead, which is this one here. This one's alive and rearing to go. So very excited. But you can sort of see how everything works and the subtle differences. Alrighty guys, first dilemma. This alternator actually has a different size sort of bolt hole here. So this one's actually a lot bigger, which is good in a sense, let more oil in, I guess. You tell me, but basically this old one, which is on here, won't fit. So I've got the old little pliers here. I'm just gonna pull this off and swap it out / upgrade to this slightly bigger one. This one does have a little like not overflow, like a locator. You can see there it's actually sealed to sort of locate it. And it does have a little extra piece which does go to this little tube here, which following it, one of them goes into the full drive selectors basically. Another one goes into a little electric box. So that is a little electrical tube thing there, but I'll be honest guys, we're going to zip tie that and run without it and see how we go. But this one does have a slightly bigger hole in the inside, so I think it will take slightly more oil going into it, which could be good. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. Alrighty guys, I can't turn the camera off because a lot of it's quite boring and you can't really see it from there anyways, but basically I have used the big new one, not this old one, and what I've just realized that seems pretty dodgy to me at least is there's no allocating holes in this one, so I need to eye it off, make sure the hole lines up with the hole. Otherwise, to my understanding, the sort of oil won't be able to go through the alternator because it'll just block itself. I will show you what I mean, I think, because I need to take this off anyways. But similar to this one, like when it comes through, there's a hole here at the bottom. So unless it goes through and goes around, which I think it does, because there's a bit of movement, and I can even see in this one that there's the sort of oil around the sides. Otherwise, if that wasn't the case and it does sort of block it, then I definitely want to get this right. But I think we've got that leeway anyways. But just to be sure, I'm going to line it up perfectly. Right guys, we started about 11:30 and it's 12:16, so it's, it's been almost an hour, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And basically now everything's bolted up. All we need to do now is put the make the adjustment lean back so the belt's tight, and then we'll tighten that up, and then we'll start it up, make sure nothing rubs or whatever, because this alternator is a little bit longer than the other one. All the brands have slightly different tolerances, so it may slightly rub against the AC belt. Okay guys, I'll try and show as much as I can, but basically alternator's in, belt's tight, wires now running a different way just because everything was in a different spot, so still on the top like the old one, plugs in there, got this is the oil one I was telling you about. I was trying to get straight so the holes would line up, but I don't think it matters because it has full movement inside. Another little one down there and one on the left as well. And then good news for me, this was touching before. Just here you can see between here there's like 3-4 mil. Before that was just touching, but now it's off because the whole alternator's come back as I've done up this top bolt and the bottom bolt, which is good. So it's solid in place. And yeah, I can't really see anything else I've missed, to be honest guys, but mine is an 89 60 series 2H, and it comes with this extra little hose, which if you follow it back, this one here, it's this little metal rod and it runs all the way down there to a T-piece, one to the 4-drive solenoid and one down to a little electric spot down there. So this is electrical, like, so I'm not sure if it's air pressure or it's probably, yeah, it's probably got some sort of vacuum seal element because that's all vacuum sealed for full drive. What I'm going to do now is zip tie that off, because I'm pretty sure we'll be able to run without it pretty comfortably, because the older 60 series models might not have had this, because this is a last gen model, might have had a few more upgrades. So I'll zip tie that together for now and we'll see how it all reacts. Alrighty guys, now we're going to actually start off. I'm a bit nervous. Right, it's charging well, almost at 14 volt already. I will probably adjust it though, because you can see that bottom belt down there is very loose. The motor's rattling a bit, but once you sort of drive, it takes a lot of the rattle out. If I jump inside here, see here, no lights on the dash. Normally they come up by now after about a minute or so. And you can sort of see here as well my little gauge there, that we're in the healthy 14 volt range on the bottom right there. So no lights on the dash, nothing crazy, it all looks pretty healthy to me. Okay guys, great news. I've just adjusted that, that's tight now. So now we're just gonna swap this little bit here just so we can get a little DC charger working again. So we're basically gonna get this fuse back on and running, and then our DC will be charging our second battery, which will be good because we haven't had that for ages. Alrighty guys, that's it for the alternator video. Let me know if you have any questions. It's been a few days since the last sort of video, basically, and the car's still running fine. Haven't had any issues. So yeah, that's the second time I've done an alternator in the last few months. But hopefully, if you have any questions, or you stumble on this video and you're doing one, it helps you out just a little bit. But thank you so much for watching guys. Catch you guys next time on Built Cruisers.